Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where we left off. We are on the final day of episode 3. So it is time for us to put this bitch in jail. October 20th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Well, very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement? In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for the case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in Studio 2 in the Studio 2 trailer that day. For their testimonies, and the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems to be a little on edge today. I see. Edgeworth is threatened by the Mafia. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Prosecution calls Ms. D. Vasquez to the stand. Ms. D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez, I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. Everyone here knows, yes. I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Ms. Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with... What? Come on. Day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 a.m. sharp and ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate a T-bone steak at the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later and we all went to Studio 1. That is all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you. The van. There's a van in Studio 2. Had him take me in that. I thought I might be risky to walk, so we had that monkey's head toppling over. What with that head's... Okay. Add record to the court record. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. That's the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Alright, I gotta catch something here. I entered the trailer a little before noon. That's fine. The meeting began. We already knew this. The rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. Let me press this on this so I get more information. I think I need to get more information out of this part here. When exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering. No, meeting ended at 4. The rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think. Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued. Hold on. You had Sal take you. What does that mean? It means what I just said. Into the Studio 2 van. Oh, alright. We took a 15-minute break at the meeting. For the trailer, kind of wish she said a little bit more. It's hard. I think she's been used to being the boss. Sure, you'll find some kind of contradiction. Okay, so let me post this. By yourself. Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area. No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. The meeting began at 4 and I'm gonna pressure on everything, see what I can do. There's no leaving during the meeting. No one. Come on, let's talk a little bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Edgeworth. Please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. We had a rehearsal afterwards, so I went to Studio 1. I was fatigued. We took a 15-minute break. And what were you doing that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steak. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal? No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she commit murder during that break, it wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved that she didn't eat a T-bone steak. Well, do I have that? Hold on a second. Oh, that's a hint. I have evidence, right? On traces. Oh, I don't have any sort of evidence to back up that up. Oh, jeez. Okay, I gotta try. So if I have evidence that she didn't eat the T-bone steak. Okay, okay, I gotta think. What could be used to prove that? Oh god, okay. So... that she didn't eat that T-bone. What is the evidence here? I don't think that's it. Okay, I think so if I had evidence that she didn't, I think I gotta do the monkey thing, right? Because that's what I have to contradict on. Would it be this? Nope. Fuck. It does? Really? Objection, try to think. I have to press on that. I have to press on that. Would this be it? It is! Okay, it was that. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate your T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this? Now, Mr. Wright. Look at this. It's a plate. It's a plate on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone was left behind. Need I remind you, it was a T-bone steak. Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Ms. Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate a steak outside their trailer. Yet, there was no bone left on the plate. The plates were bare. Ms. Vasquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat the steak. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like in that incinerator. I see. That's what Ms. Vasquez is doing during her break isn't obvious, Your Honor. She was meeting the Steel Samurai. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order. What are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. As Ms. Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it. Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yeah, the samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that? Okay. You couldn't, could you? Pretty much anyone would. Ha, you see? Yes. However, that's no bearing on this case. Meaning, the steel samurai was not the murder weapon. What? What's the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. Oh, this is where I present this. Wrong, Mr. Wright. I haven't said anything yet. I know you very enough by now that you're going to present the wrong evidence. I can sense my fade blood. Okay, I'll pick the wrong evidence. Enough with sensing. The murder weapon would be this? I present proof of the so-called murder weapon. But is that the murder weapon? Not so fast. Remember that spear was broken during the morning action scene run-through? Someone fixed the spear. It was a security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is this possible? Is someone to stab a man who's wearing a thick costume with that through the chest and not break it? See? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? You think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell me what was. How was Hammer killed? I can tell you. I'm afraid your confidence is sometimes unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see the murder weapon. That's where I present this. Look at this photo. What is this? Why is that jackhammer standing on top of the stairs? Order, order? If I cannot have order, the trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph was from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This photo is of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was close kept secret at the studio. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man with the photo? How? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again. Right, continue. At 2:30 on that day of the murder, Dee Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Jack Hammer off the stairs and onto the fence. Just like that Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whatever she did on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer, he died the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Ho ho ho, Miss very creative. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I said is true. Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument, Hammer that died at that trailer you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? In the evil magistrate costume, no less. Are you claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 in return in a space of 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The breaking in the middle was lasted from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death and carried and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. How could he have dealt this? She had another way. What if she had another way of carrying out other with her own hands. For instance, actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. The murder, there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting, let me hear it. Please show us how she carried the body. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There had to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, don't forget that Salmonella drove the van. Are you suggesting that was a co-conspirator? Of course he was. Salmonella has been a co-conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Ms. Vasquez could have done it all alone. And don't you forget that the disposed of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to do it because to cover up Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose, you win, it was fun. I win. What? I'm confused. So what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost. Something like that. I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you. You killed Jack Hammer? Everyone's confused. I'm confused. What the hell's going on? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did it, Mr. Wright? We just engaged in a battle of wits. In the results of that battle, you proved the possibility of I murdered Jack Hammer. Right, but then is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Mine? Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts. Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today, and if you have no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? I'm gonna press it. Ms. Vasquez, you did it. That wasn't a question. Did you do it? No. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I'm not sure that question helped in the court get any closer to a verdict. Testify again. I'd like you to testify again. Know when to give up. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've always said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You asked the same questions and to get the same answer. Waste of time. Damn, to come so far only to fail. As it seemed there is no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting. I didn't. I see. Very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want you to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by me repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Ms. Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed. Ergo, I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it, too. But wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all, Edgeworth... He's getting his guilty verdict on a different person. What a guy. What a Chad. I was with Sal and Oldbeg, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbeg, quite agitated, pointed out the Powers and said he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer, got my script and direction notes, then I went home. I see no issue raised this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need to twist the truth out of her. Right. Alright, I was with Sal Oldbag when we found the body. I'm gonna hold it here. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for rehearsal. I'd say it was then. When exactly did Mr. Manella arrive to the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Press harder. Was there any other employees when you got to that studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer into that costume with Sal Manella's help. Oh, what did you say? Did you not say I wasn't stuffing any bodies in the costume? You should try and listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy, the witness will continue her testimony. System was there too, only Powers is absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to claim. You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Press harder, of course. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murder body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the other missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Ms. Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps, but no one was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his Steel Samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at locations. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose I explained that. That sucks! Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. When you don't get realized when you're outside of your costume and the people you work with forget about you when you're the star of the show that they're recording. What? That's sad. That is super sad. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. We stood there until Powers finally arrived to the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then silence, dead silence. Silence. Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone could do something to lighten up the mood. Security lady Oldbeck, quite agitated, pointing at Powers, said he did it. Oldbeck, why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Press harder. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seemed to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all of this after the fact. That photograph meaning the one taken by the security... She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything that I can use there. Why did you leave? Why? You asked to be left out. Yes, it seems that everyone else was questioned. I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't not question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were very nice enough to understand that since we were in the meeting. There was no way we could have been involved, thus they covered for us. Covered for you. Covered up. There must have been a lot riding on that whole bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. Has to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and directions. The script in your direction notes. Yes, very quite valuable. It wouldn't have to do have them sold. No, I guess not. Press harder. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring the script and notes with you? Well, I was under impression that we wouldn't be rehearsing anything. Why? There was a murder after all. We could think of rehearsing after that. Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. Please continue. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Says she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to known that the murder before going to Studio 1. It's me and Edgeworth versus this bitch. What the hell? Oh, order, Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Are you thinking of career changing to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Ms. Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had perfectly good reason to believe there would not be a rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal, he told me. Sal, the director, you have to find something. Of course, we've done that till now it's wasted. I believe in you. Go get him. It wasn't Hammer that was injured. It was Powers. I have a photo to prove that. I knew that Hammers was injured and couldn't do anything. Present his photograph. You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? It seems was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? The one who was injured in the run-through that morning was the person Mr. Will Powers, not Jack Hammer. Now, why did you think that Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said what Sal told me. That's right, he must have gotten it wrong. Think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who had been injured. He saw. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Ms. Vasquez. You heard Manella wrong. Even though he said Mr. Powers was injured, you thought he was talking about Mr. Hammer. Now that you mention it, I believe you're right. I'm sure that's what's happening. Yeah, Nick, you're supposed to be putting her on the spot and helping her out. Alright, I've kind of talked myself out of that one, didn't I? Quick, start over. Miss Vasquez, you saw Hammer limping. Actually, didn't you hear... You didn't hear anything from Mel. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but... Wasn't it Will Powers who got injured? Yes, but remember, was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. When was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the samurai costume and went to Studio 2 when he was murdered. Exactly. Ms. Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order. I will have order in my court. Witness, can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one. Very well, I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer's dead? Yes, he's fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would you kill the victim? If there's a reason, it is unclear to the court. Does the defense have anything to say on this matter? In other words, yes, I can prove it. I have proof. I'll show it to you. Okay, what can I prove here? Why? Nope, alright, this is my proof. This is the proof from before. The photo reveals the motive to this murder. Am I right? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was on the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, it was a terrible accident that was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall, his fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you D. Vasquez used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day and Hammer's last role as evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was the constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. Are we talking about motives here? And yet, you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, you would have no reason to kill Mr. Hammer. He was good source for income for me. Yet I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Please reveal evidence. Allow me to present the court evidence proving Ms. Vasquez's motive. What could I use here? What? So this wasn't the right one. This is my proof, and wants to kill. I'd say it proves that the defense attorney has lost his marbles. Nick, we're so close. God. Okay. If I miss this one up, I'm gonna have to click there's no motive. None of these other ones make sense. This is my proof, and this tells. Okay. I'm gonna have to say there's no. I'm gonna have to try it and say there's no motive. She had no motive. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Mr. did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Ms. Vasquez. Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into his dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. For what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had cruelly taken advantage of him for all those years. Oh, and her pipe broke. So, you did do it, didn't you? Yes, I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Ms. Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer's stairs. Manuel! Ms. Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No. How could this happen? It's an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing... No, Manuel! Don't touch him, Ms. Vasquez. No! Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm as collected as ever. I see, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Mr. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. That is all. The court is adjourned. October 20th, 1:12 p.m. District Court. The defendant, lobby number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know how now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Ms. Vasquez. But to think that he tried to frame me for the murder. It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Tell me, why did Hammer want to blame me? Blame you because you were because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he reduced to act in a kid's show as a villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. It would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, Will Powers. Oh, thank you. I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Nick Edgeworth? Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh. What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. Don't waste any time gloating. No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. And pleased to meet you. I'm Will Powers. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Power. Liar. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, I would have been better had if we not met. Thank you again. I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings. Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They are only served to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix, right? Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's why I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friend as if they're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now, we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? We're in cahoots. We're getting married. And so the curtains closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change and went back to making kids shows again. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they would seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world's ready for the real Will Powers. They're not having a girl play the Pink Princess? What the hell? Okay, that is... Brand new episode was unlocked. Failed to save content. Yes, I would love to save my progress. Episode 4, Turnabout Goodbyes. Alright. And that's where we're going to end off this episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the next episode, we are going to go wholeheartedly into episode 4. And without further ado, guys, go follow my Twitter, go follow my Twitch. Like and subscribe to the channel, comment down below anything you'd like, any critiques you might have of me. Without further ado, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! I'm afraid your confidence is sometimes unfound, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see the murder weapon. That's where I present this. Look at this photo. What is this? Why is that jackhammer standing on top of the stairs? Order. If I cannot have order, the trial will be suspended.